Out here at it again. This is probably one of the hardest spots I've ever been to, walking wise. Heard that. Got all live baits out today, and a spot I've never tried before, but always wanted to. We got deep water, we got shallow water, and we got birds feeding on big school of shad right behind me. So I couldn't improve my chances much more than that. I'd say most of you people are watching the ice bowl or whisker bowl or whatever it's called. I figured I'd come out here and try to catch me some fish. Show you the view real quick. Ain't them normal little creeks I've been fishing. Hopefully some big fish waters right here. Get my phone set up on the tripod. Yeah, I'm pretty wore out, y'all. Had to walk like 40 minutes through the woods, and it was rough. Hello, two people watching. Give me just a second. I'm getting the phone set up on the tripod. Waiting on a monster. See if that'll work. Maybe. Flip you upside down for a second. There we go. Yeah, if you ever decide to walk through the woods for like 45 minutes, I suggest don't bring a bucket full of freaking metal rod holders, hammers, and water for the bait fish. That wasn't fun. Let's see. See some of the rods back here. There you go. Yeah, there was a buddy of mine out here fishing this spot yesterday. He said he accidentally broke a fishing pole on the way out here. I found it back here. Took a picture of it and sent it to him and said, "Did you forget this?" And he said, "I sure did." It's alright, I'll carry it out of here. Yeah, this is probably the deepest spot I've fished this year. There's literally bird feathers and shad all over the water over here. So they're feeding. I didn't bring any shad today because I didn't have any live, but I got 2 live bluegill, a live shiner, and a rock bass out there. This one over here in the corner that you can't see really keeps getting slack in it. I'm gonna go fix that. I keep finding tackle all over his rock pile. Here comes a bass boat to come annoy me. Let's see. Got them in here yet? No. There they are. Kind, gentle souls. Just. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ah, tripod about fell. Yeah, I didn't figure too many people turned in today with that big online tournament going on. You about win my lap. This dang thing. Oh, there we go. Well, I got one person watching. Who are you? Let's see. This rod right in front of me. There's an island out here, and I swear you can barely see the island for all the birds on it. I'm using 5-ounce sinkers. Probably wasn't the smartest I did. I definitely guarantee I'll be losing some tackle today. Because if you see what's at my feet, that's definitely what's underneath the water. Got 2 people in here now. What's up, y'all? Now, if I could catch decent fish here consistently, I wouldn't care walking almost an hour out here every time. Yeah, I would. But at least to give me a little hope. There ain't no fish in this lake most of the time. Just like people watching my live videos. Yeah, I've seen some big fish come out of here. What's up, man? Catfish fever. Out here trying a new spot I ain't never tried before. Fishing some deep water for the first time this year. And when I say deep, I mean like water over 50 foot. Here comes that bass boat again. Couldn't wave, flip me off, nothing. Told you there wasn't no fish in this lake. People just drive around on $80,000 boats. We actually got some pretty warm temperatures today. It's supposed to be almost 70. But we also got a chance of rain, so that's why the sky looks kind of crappy. But yeah, I got a deep hole right in front of me. On both sides of that deep hole, it's real shallow. There's a creek mouth coming in behind me. There's a whole flock of birds in there feeding on a school of shad. So if I was a catfish, I would be swimming in this creek feeding on the shad. I'm in East Tennessee, fishing old Cherokee Lake, aka the Indian, aka the Dead Sea, aka there ain't no fish in this lake. What's crazy though, this lake back in the 90s was in the top 10 best catfishing lakes for trophy blues, according to In Fisherman magazine. Now, that was like 35 years ago, and boy, can I tell the difference. I wasn't even born then, but Athens, okay, that ain't too far. Can you see the birds flying around behind me? I mean, the bait's here. I'm using live bait. Yeah, I know. He's like the only person that seems to be able to catch a fish out of here anymore. Yeah, he fishes it a couple times a year. See, I remember when I first started catfishing Cherokee, and me and my wife and kids were catching fish left and right. I was like, dang, I should start me a YouTube channel. And then was like, nah, I want to keep this a secret as long as I can. And then you got people like that who just come make bodies of water like this famous. And then a couple years later, you're like, dang, where'd the fish go? Oh, that's right. All those commercial fishermen seen where you were catching them at and dropped nets. Now they ain't in here no more. I'm sure there's some in here, but not like there used to be. Can y'all see them birds out there? I don't see nothing but birds. That whole island's about to be covered again. I guess the shad moved out here. Now tell me this ain't what a catfisherman, or just a big fisherman, don't love to see us right here. Birds galore. Where's the catfish? That's what I want to know. You seeing birds? I seeing birds. Well, they used to stock it, honestly. They actually quit back in the 90s. When I first started, like 7 years ago, just chasing big catfish, it was fairly easy to catch them in here. But the past few years, man, it ain't what it used to be. Which also, most people don't realize how big this lake is, too. It's pretty big. And the bottom end of the lake compared to the top is completely different. Like where the lake begins, on average, it's probably summer pool 20, 30 foot. Then you get in the middle, and it's about 70 to 90 foot. And then you get to the other end, and you got spots down here that's almost 200 feet deep. And you never see anybody fishing those places. It just makes me wonder if that ain't where they're hiding out at. But I can't hit no 200-foot hole from the bank, that's for sure. I have to get the boat out for that. These birds are going crazy. Ding cover steak. Good morning. Out here watching these birds feed on all these shad. But yeah, I know there's a lot of YouTubers that actually live closer to Cherokee than the Tennessee River, but you see where they go, and I don't blame them. But it literally takes me almost an hour, like right out an hour, to drive from one end of this lake to the other. Well, who's winning the online tournament so far, y'all? Yeah, plumbing for you today. Well, I'll see if I can't catch a fish for you, man. But yeah, those folks all live in Knoxville, around Knoxville. I'm like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Knoxville. Jody's probably the closest to me. One of the closest in our little community, anyways. But yeah, this lake is pretty popular for catfishing. There used to be 3 tournament trails, 3 different catfish tournament trails on this lake. Yeah, Smoky Mountain. Yeah, me and him fished together last Saturday on stand day. Yeah, me and Smokey probably live about 10, 15 minutes away from each other. I'm in Oklahoma, like freaking nobody is down here around me, but plan to make a trip this summer and make a few stops on the way. Heck yeah, man. Hopefully in another month or two you won't see me out here sitting on the bank. I'll be out here dragging baits. But yeah, there was a couple catfish YouTubers when I started, but you kind of have to catch catfish consistently to do that, and they didn't stick around forever. Gene, I'm trying to think of a Gene or Dan. If you're talking about Danny, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know who Gene is. Yeah, there used to be another bank fisherman out here that used to catch catfish pretty consistently back in the day when I did. And see, in the warm, hot months, my end of the lake is better. And it always seemed like in the cold months, his end of the lake was better. Which makes sense. Another bass boat going by. But yeah, fishing this lake can be kind of discouraging. Me and my kids fished, I don't know, at least once or twice a week, every week last year. Trying new spots, old spots, different baits, different techniques. And the biggest fish we caught out of here was 28 pounds. Dan's Creations and Adventures. Huh. I've heard of that before. But yeah, the dude that used to bank fish on the other end of this lake, he would catch decent fish all the time. Like, I remember one day he went live and he caught like, I don't know, 2 or 3 30s, a 40 and a 50 in like 2 hours bank fishing. And I've never had a day that good from the bank. I've caught some 20s and 40s, like one each. Not no consistent like that. Yeah, no, I noticed I don't know, I mean, life's weird, man. I love doing this YouTube stuff. Definitely trying to get more into it this year, but being an adult, like, life can change so fast. And I guess we don't really realize how lucky we are to be able to come out here and do this. Just having a chance to, come out here, hang out with your buddies, and hook into a big fish. There's a lot of people that don't even have that opportunity. I whine about catching fish because I miss it, man. But my point is, like, this lake might not be stacked with fish, but I also know there's a chance at any given time that I could hook into a 40, 50, 60 pound big blue or flathead. And there's some places in the world where there ain't no blues and flatheads. You're lucky to catch a channel cat. Which then again, there's some days I'd feel lucky if I just caught a channel cat. I think the dink over stink catfishing is like one of the coolest names in the industry, man. It makes perfect sense to me. Yeah, when I first started, man, I got spooled on catching big fish. I didn't even realize it. I was like 2 or 3 years in, and I had this old man stop me and was talking to me about fishing, and I was telling him about how past couple of years how great it was, all the good fish me and my wife and kids have been catching, and he was like, "Man, you need to enjoy that." And I was too young and dumb to understand, but he was telling the truth. He said, son, them days ain't gonna last forever." And he wasn't kidding. He wasn't kidding. I've honestly debated about moving to dang somewhere else where there is fish caught consistently. Well, dang. Hopefully it don't rain too much. I brought a poncho just in case. Where'd everybody go? Started storytelling about the lake and everybody disappeared. Yeah, I don't know if any of y'all follow Minotaur Hooks or John Bubba New, JBN. He just dropped yesterday that he was coming out with a new style of planer boards. Gonna change the game. I'll have to try those out. But I'm gonna step away for just a moment and walk over here. I keep finding lead everywhere. That's what I need to do. Find a bunch of lead out here so I have more heavy crap to carry back. People always talk about how expensive lead is. You don't never see them pick them up. Which I guess most of them professionals are not bank fishing anyways. There's gotta be mussel beds out here somewhere. There's shells everywhere. I'll probably end this live here in a couple minutes. I'd say most people's watching something else. And I feel like I have a pretty good chance catching a good fish here today. And I'd be a little upset if I didn't have at least a little bit of battery on my phone to record that. Because I can only get about 2 hours out of her, fully charged. There's a shredded bird laying on the top of the water here. Free lid. So far I've been here about 38 minutes, Big Mike, and I ain't caught nothing yet. But this spot right here is about a 60-foot hole. And on both sides of that 60-foot hole is about 30 foot deep. Right back in here is cutting into a big creek mouth that's full of shad. There's a big flock of birds back there feeding on them. So I'm just waiting for a big blue or flyhead to roll up in this creek. I got 4 pieces of live bait out. Just waiting on a monster. Great nighttime spot. I don't know, I ain't never fished it before. First time I've ever been out here. I had to park and walk like, no lie, like 45 minutes to an hour to get here. With a backpack full of gear, 4 mag catch rods, 4 takedown rod holders, and a 5-gallon bucket full of water and live bait. That was not the smartest thing I've ever done. But I've wanted to fish this spot for a really long time. And I didn't want to bring frozen bait. I wanted to give this spot the best chance that I possibly could, so I brought live bait. Oh yeah, I did not expect it to be that far of a walk. But it's alright. We're out here. We're giving it a shot. See, I was just thinking what this spot would look like in the summertime when the water's full and all this is underwater. As you can see the water line back there above my head. That's how deep it normally is. So I just wonder how many big fish hang out in these rock piles like this. I'd say if there's any left in here. Oh heck yeah. I should be at the house by then. Probably. Are you fishing at Blinky or where are you fishing? Oh Blinky. Oh yeah, you got some fresh skippies. Believe it or not, we don't have a skipjack in this lake. But my biggest flathead ever out of this lake came on a frozen skipjack in the middle of summertime. Crappie, oh, that's even better. That's a big fish bait for sure. See, the dam that creates this lake, they shut off bank access to it years ago. Before I ever started YouTube, or I think it was before I even really got into trophy catfishing. The only way you can get to the dam up there is by boat. But in the summertime, it's probably, I don't know, 15, 20 foot deep up there. Right now, it's probably like 3 foot up there. But I used to catch some pretty decent fish up there from a boat back when I used to do the tournaments. But yeah, I got 2 live bluegill out there, rock bass, and a big shiner. It's probably about that long, about 6 inches, I'd say. These fish would show me what they want. I can give it to them. I got about a 10-inch red eye in my bait bucket down here. A few more shiners and bluegill. Yeah, I wish my dam was as cool as yours. You with them big rods you got could probably cast to the other side of mine. Now the dam on this other end of the lake, it's a lot bigger. But I ain't never fished below it. But I swear, like, if once I get my boats going this year, and I come out here and try dragging baits with planer boards, and if I still don't catch anything, no, you can't bank fish the dam up here. They closed off access years ago. You can bank fish Cherokee Dam, but that's not the dam that creates this lake. It's the one that releases water. Yeah, you can fish that one, but you can't fish John Sevier Dam, which is the one that creates this lake. Not from the bank, anyways. You used to be able to park at a campground that was right there at the dam and walk probably about a mile up to it, but they've gated it up and have signs posted everywhere. Have people patrolling on golf carts, and they got her locked down. You used to be able to park on the backside of it and walk in But they put up a big gate there and says something about Homeland Security. It's pretty strict. Yeah, I go up there when the water's up in the summer quite a bit. Every time I went up there last year, I caught nothing but channel cats. I would even take these 12-inch channel cats and put them on a double hook rig and wait for a big flathead or blue to roll up. It just never happened. Yeah, I know. We had, I don't know, we've had a lot of people die up there, drowning, not being safe, just crazy stuff happening. Like the boat ramp that's closest to the dam, pretty sure it's called Johnson River Boat Ramp. But from that point, you have to have a life jacket on from that point. And it's been that way ever since they closed off bank access. Because I used to walk up there when I was a kid before I ever knew anything about targeting big catfish. But yeah, our dam used to have a hot water discharge, and they called it the sluice. And it was like a cove right beside the dam where they would pump out all this hot water. And, catfish love that in the wintertime. But they stopped doing that a couple years ago. They don't discharge any hot water right there anymore. Could be the reason why the fish don't come in there like they used to, I guess. There's a lot of people go up there and catch striper and hybrid. But the way like the dam is designed, it's a low head dam, I guess you'd say. And like if they're running a lot of water and the way the sluice is designed, like there's been times that I've been going towards the dam and my boat pick up speed and go faster than my motor's going with the way the current's flowing. It's crazy. There's been times I'd have to like cut my engine off and just let the current pull me up in there to the sluice and just throw my anchors out real quick and let the current spin my boat around to position it right. Not anything safe that I should be doing, that's for sure. But the first night I ever done it, I took my wife up there and threw out a big, I don't know, it was a bullhead, probably weighed a pound. And the second I threw it out, like it went slack, and I just figured it like swam underneath the boat or something. And next thing I knew, that rod tip was in the water and it was just peeling drag. But like I was saying, where you have to throw the anchors out super shallow there, just not get sucked up into the dam. Uh, this fish got tied up in my anchor line, so I had to like lean over the boat and pull up the anchor line, which spun the boat around in all this current. And I had like a 12-pound flathead that just nailed that freaking bullhead instantly. But I remember I had to like run across the bench seats on the boat to like get this fish without it breaking me off in the anchor. Things I've done for 12-pound fish. Fun times though, fun times. And a little 14-foot V-bottom boat with nothing but a trolling motor. Two people in here hanging out. 4 thumbs up. Thank y'all. The birds are over here again. I'd say there's 1,000 on this little island over here. Yeah. But do you think it'd be a better night spot than a day spot, Big Mike? Or just depends on time of the year? Hopefully it don't rain. Yeah. You see, I had a buddy fish this spot yesterday, and he sent me a video of this whole creek loaded with bait yesterday and birds. So that's what made me come out here today. You can see all kinds of shad, dead shad floating on top of the water with a bunch of bird feathers and crap where they've been feeding on them heavy. Hey, you're good, Mike. Yeah, I should have went live when I fished a wheeler last year. I caught more fish in that one trip than I probably did all year on this lake. Yeah, we had a shad kill a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Whenever we had that ice storm or whatever they called it. Yeah, I did a live right after that, and I went to fish this backwater creek, and it was still frozen. I hit it with a 5-ounce sinker, and it just slid all the way across it. Yeah, I got probably 500 shad in the freezer. I just figured with the shad kill, they might want something different. And the shad I got ain't as fresh as the ones floating around out here, I wouldn't reckon. Yeah. I haven't seen any big shad, just little ones. But this is probably like the 8th time I've fished in the past 2 weeks. And I've tried shad and I've tried everything. Shallow, deep. But I hadn't tried this spot. I had one rod over here, kept getting slack in it. It's got a live bluegill on it. It used to be held down with a 5-ounce sinker. That rod's still out there. Huh. I don't see no cranes out here, just a bunch of seagulls. Oh, wow. Well, it's probably my luck. A 5-gallon bucket of freaking shad. I could only imagine what that smelled like. Old shad slurpee. It just puts a bad taste in my mouth saying it. Dude, that is so freaking cool, and I don't even think you can see it. There's a herd of deer swimming across the freaking lake. You see him? I can't see for the sun in my freaking hat. Yeah, there's a herd of deer. Hopefully they don't get in my lines or something. I'm gonna sit here really still. I wish I could zoom in. I can't from this angle. Can I switch it? Oh, I freaking can. That's a herd of deer swimming across the lake. Sad part is they're headed right for me. This could go bad. There's 5 of them. See, y'all leave and miss all the good stuff. I'm outnumbered 5 to 1. I've never seen this before. I can't believe there's nobody in here to watch it. Oh, if they get into one of my lines, though, it's gonna be a mess. I can't believe I caught this on camera, though. They're looking at me like, what is that? Yeah, they're getting spooked. Oh, they're gonna get in my freaking lines, man. Maybe not. Yep. As far as swimming away, the other one done hit the wood line. Well, there they go. Hopefully they're not too tired and they make it back across. I'd kind of feel like crap if they didn't. Well, that's freaking cool. I can't believe all y'all left me and didn't get to watch that. I'm gonna have to recast this. Yep, that's deer swimming across the lake. I just had to run them back off. They came over here and got tangled up in my fishing lines. I'm gonna have to recast it now. But yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen deer swim across like that. Personally, myself. Huh. They almost made it to the other side. I have to reel this in like super quick. Try not to get it snagged up. And that didn't take long at all. I swear. Literally just tied this rig on too. I could just leave it and wait for a fish to try to get it out. It's got live bait on it. I really don't want to break it off. There them deer go. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it here. I guess some deer got me freaking hung up. It was all boring. Everybody left me in chat, and then 5 deer decided to come harass me. And nobody's seen it. Huh. Well, that was freaking cool, y'all. First time I'd ever seen that before. I didn't even see him walk down the bank out of the woods over there. See what my phone's on. I will go for a little longer. I can't believe y'all missed the deer, man. Almost caught a deer with a fishing pole. Probably could have if I wanted to. Well, nobody's in here. I'm gonna sit here and fish for a couple more hours, I guess. Wait for a big fish. I would stay live, but I'll run my phone dead. And if there ain't nobody watching, then ain't really no point, I guess. But thank you for the few people that did come in and hang out. Hopefully here in a few I can catch a monster.